Good morning, gladiators. We who are about to play salute you. Hey everybody, today we're checking out an arcade game from 1986. 33 years ago, can you believe? Crazy. This game is called Gauntlet 2 and it's from Atari. And back in 1986, this was all the rage in the video arcades because you could play up to 4 players. You had a wizard, a warrior, a Valkyrie, and an elf. Hitting a dungeon, exploring, finding treasure, defeating beasties. It had everything you could want from an arcade-style role-playing game. And it's something that is close to my heart and I'm very fond of because I played a ton of it as a kid on my PC. And I think on the Commodore 64 I had the version of this as well. It's definitely aged, but I think we'll have a bit of fun with it today. So let's jump into the dungeon now and play some Gauntlet 2. Here we are, Gauntlet 2. So at the time, the sound was considered pretty cool in this game because it actually had text-to-speech sort of voice synthesis. Most likely to be used when a player needed food or something like that. You'd hear, "Wizard needs food badly," and that became a bit of a catchphrase. Let's jump in. Okay, selected a warrior. So here we are. On level 1, you can move in 8 directions. The idea is to grab treasure chests. I'll just move the camera up a little bit. And defeat monsters. This is basically tutorial level. Things will tell me to. You can run into them and defeat them just with the barbarian. Not every character class had that. Of the 4, he was the most physically powerful, and you could also throw out unlimited axes. And in there, you can see these ghosts are following us around. We can go in there and grab more treasure. And a turkey leg. Actually, no, it's a roast chicken. Always roast chickens in these games, isn't it? It's kind of funny. Would you eat a roast chicken that was lying on a dungeon floor? I think not. But for now, we'll just jump to the exit. And I want to show you something up here. See the health that's ticking down? This was an arcade game. And of course, arcade games were there to make money. And so you were invariably going to die after a certain amount of time. They want you to put more money in, so the health was always ticking down, and it was always a bit of an element of, constant fear, because you'd be looking at it going, "Oh, I'm running out of health." All right, so that's a stun tile. They're monster generators, and you really want to get them before they get all the monsters. All right, so it's a timing element. Force fields lose health. Grab the key. Those imps can lob things over walls. You have to consider, at the time, this was quite advanced sound, even though it's quite annoying now, isn't it? This is actually the sequel to the first Gauntlet, and it's very, very similar, except it added the ability for players to... You could have multiple classes of the same thing, so you could have like a red barbarian and a blue barbarian, color variations. You really could have up to 4 players on the arcade machine, and even on the PC. As a kid, we would play 4 players, all on the one keyboard, because you have tiny little hands, right? As kids, you kind of can all fit on the keyboard. It was really cool. You didn't want to be the player in the middle because you'd be really squished up. These sort of hellish demons are, very reminiscent of Doom, and I'm sure Doom was influenced by a game like this. Treasure chest? A key, alright. There are over 100 levels in this. I know this because on the Commodore version, I actually got up to past level 100 with my childhood friend Mark Gideon when we were kids. we spent one rainy Saturday morning playing and playing and playing, and we got really good at this and got all the way to level 100. There are sort of levels that you can sort of teleport and that kind of thing. You're now it. Alright, what it does is monsters are attracted to you when you're it, so these things are following us around. It doesn't really matter so much in a single player game, but if you're in a multiplayer game, you want to try and tag someone else. It's like, it is basically a game of tag. And they become it, and the monsters get attracted to them. So it's a cool little sort of, cooperative and competitive gameplay element. Oh, we're running out of health. Hopefully, we shot the food. That was a bad idea. Hopefully, we've got more continues. I'd like to know how. Oh, we got okay. We're back. That's good. I was able to continue. Didn't even see that happen. Now, by today's standards, this is a super simple game. There's not that much to it. There's a Grim Reaper that comes and follows you around, and you don't want to be around him because he can't really be killed except for using a special potion. There is a dragon you can face, and that was new to Gauntlet 2. It takes up multiple tiles and a lot of hits. And there are little, very light role-playing elements as far as you can get potions that will increase your armor or your attack power and so on temporarily. Or actually, no, I think they last until you die. Whoa, this is a bit of a hectic level. Let's get out of here. Whoa, get a bit of breathing room. On this level, the exit moves, so you gotta chase it around. Something nasty in there. Now, those things are Grim Reapers, I think. If we get that key, walls disappear. So now we're followed by... Yeah, we're being followed by Death, the Reaper, and they'll follow us around until we either find a potion, which we haven't found yet. These evil sorcerers. Because you can't kill them. Wow, the the little sound effects sound a bit weird. Found some chicken in a treasure chest. I wonder how long it had been there. Believe it or not, and many people do, there you go, I finally got rid of Death. He took his toll of health. Believe it or not, but I feel like games like Diablo were quite influenced by this, just in terms of, you know, the real-time grabbing loot, pretty much, you know, unlimited monster type attacks and that kind of thing. I definitely feel like there has been influences on the modern sort of action role-playing game that can trace right back to Gauntlet. There have been other versions of Gauntlet as well. There's been Gauntlet 3 and 4 sequels, and I think there were remakes across all platforms, even up to a few years ago, and I played one of the remakes, and it was actually really well done. I mean, okay, potion. There we go. We can use this potion. Bam! Destroyed it. We're actually looking for a key, but yeah, I played the remake and it was a lot of fun, you know. I mean, I'm a lot older now and unfortunately don't have the players to play with anymore. I have the friends that I can kind of play multiplayer games like this with them anymore. Or we've all got families and commitments. So if you're young and you're watching this, play as many games as you can. You can move those blocks, that's cool. I'm trying to find the key and I cannot seem to track it down. There it is. I didn't bother going up here. Should have done that. Oh, there's the exit. Level 5. Do you think we'll get to level 100 today? I doubt it. I'm actually playing this while my son is asleep. I'm looking after him today and get a little window to jump in and play some games before he wakes up. Whoa, Death. Those ghosts you can't kill with melee weapon, but you can actually shoot them. Oh, an amulet. What does that do? Reflecting shots. I think these things will bounce off walls now. Yeah, that's pretty cool. So there are a lot of little kind of power-ups and things like that. You know what I'd like to see be a remake of Gauntlet, but done in this style, rather than the sort of the 3D, you know, more realistic ones, but just a super casual version like this. And no doubt there are games inspired by this, but an actual Gauntlet like this. Let me know if you've seen something like that, because I'd love to check it out. So the other characters, the Valkyrie has the best defense, the Elf has the best ranged attack, I believe, and the Wizard has the most powerful magic. potion. We're gonna need that. Bam! Cleared the room because it can get a bit hectic. Oh, there's wall shift. Our warrior's gonna die. We actually didn't hear any sound effects, which I thought we might hear, given this is the arcade version. But for some reason, the sound hasn't come through of like the warrior needs food badly. But you'd hear this all through the arcade, or you know, elf shot the food. And it was quite unique at the time because you didn't have much in the way of voice in games. It just wasn't heard of. So Warrior's gonna die. Game over. Press start. Select hero. Can we? Oh, let's choose a different hero. Let's be the wizard. Alright, cool. We're using the wizard now. And yeah, he does actually have more powerful range attack than the warrior, but he's weaker. He's got an amulet for reflecting. And we're on level 5, but it looks like a different version of level 5. It looks like it might have been flipped or mirrored. Grab some food. Food is a constant issue when you're playing multiplayer because some players need it and other players take it when they shouldn't. Just like all good multiplayer games. Did you ever play Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when you were younger? For the older players, they had these pizzas you could get in the game, and there was always a player who needed it, and there was always a player that took it when they shouldn't have, and it was a constant source of aggravation. You really should kill those monster generators because otherwise the ghosts just keep spawning. But the wizard is weak with his physical attack as far as... He can't kill monster generators in his hands. He has to use his spells. Oh, dizzy. And he's moving around funny now. He's got some random movement. He's dizzy, i.e. drunk. I wonder how long that lasts. Our poor Gandalf. Surrounded by these monsters. No potion to use. Oh, there's one in there. If we can get in there, get past death. Well, we're trapped between death and these guys. Can get quite overwhelming, quite fast. From memory, now it's been many years since I've played this properly, but there are a bunch of different tile sets as well as a forest and sort of a sandstone one. I don't think we're going to get to those today. There we go, cleared the area. Past these guys. To the exit. Level 6. Alright. Invisible walls, which is always a fun thing because it's basically trial and error. You to wander around. These are always my least favorite levels because you really didn't know where you were going and it wasn't that much fun to navigate. One of the more gimmicky of the devices. There we go, extra speed potion. Going a little faster. There's the exit, so we can follow this along. Like the old, if you keep your hand on the left wall of a maze or something, and you follow it along far enough, you'll reach the exit eventually. Do you know the difference between a maze and a labyrinth? A maze has a start and an end. A labyrinth goes all the way into the middle, and that's it. So Labyrinth was famous from the Minotaur, the King Minos and the Minotaur. And mazes are more like hedge mazes and things like that. Alright, we're dead, and that's probably about as much Gauntlet as you need to see for the day. Hope you enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun reliving the old arcade classic. You can play that in a browser, which I was just doing just then. I visited a site called retrogames.cc and tons of old arcade games there you can check out. So if you're interested in playing this or others, you should go there. Alright everybody, until next time, bye for now.